ISTQB Certified Tester Foundation Level, Automotive Software Tester CTFL-AuT. Real exam questions are the latest version, which can guarantee you success. 1. Which statement regarding the contribution of the tester to a safety culture is true? A. The tester performs the hazard analysis and the risk assessment for the product at the beginning of the project. B. The tester always takes the overall context of the product development into account when he executes their tasks. C. In systems that could potentially lead to physical injury or damage to the health of people, the tester analyzes potential hazards. D. The tester creates the hardware-software interface and provides this document to the safety manager. 2. Which statement regarding ISO 26262 is true? A. According to the general opinion of experts in functional safety, ISO 26262 cannot be considered as a contribution to the state of science and technology regarding the functional safety of road vehicles. B. ISO 26262 is part of automotive SPICE. Therefore, conformity with ISO 26262 is checked as part of an automotive SPICE assessment to avoid the additional effort of a separate safety audit. C. ISO 26262 is a standard for functional safety. It is a domain-specific adaptation of IEC 61508 for the specific characteristics in the development of safety-relevant electronic systems for motor vehicles. D. ISO 26262 is a security standard. Thus, information and work security are core topics of ISO 26262. 3. During product development, what does the tester create based on the safety requirements? A. A software architecture that fulfills the requirement of testability. B. Test cases to check compliance with the MISRA C. 2012 coding standard. C. Test cases and test procedure for the verification and validation of the safety-related requirements. D. Test cases and test procedures for production. 4. Which statement regarding AUTOSAR is not true? A. One of the objectives of AUTOSAR is to support the development of reliable systems. B. One of the objectives of AUTOSAR is the replicability of software components between different vehicle platforms and between different partners. C. One of the objectives of AUTOSAR is cooperation regarding the standards and the implementation. D. One of the objectives of AUTOSAR is the definition of a maintainable as well as adjustable open architecture. 5. Which of the following options is not a general part of a test environment? A. Test plan. B. Laboratory. C. Real-time PC. D. Communication device. 6. Which statement about databases is incorrect? A. Databases describe the signals of a communication channel. B. Databases define the implementation of the communication protocol. C. Databases include information about input and output signals. D. Databases can be described using ASAM-standards. 7. Which example describes a typical application of a closed-loop system? A. Activating the hazard warning lights is to be tested to do so. The flashing lights are monitored and the flashing frequency is measured and assessed. B. The setting of an error memory entry in the motor control unit is to be tested. To do so, the motor temperature is increased above the critical limit, and afterwards, the subsequent error memory entry will be read and assessed. C. The correct reaction of the windscreen wiper is to be tested. To do so, the RAM sensor is activated by water on the screen and the windscreen wiping activities are monitored. D. A cruise control is to be tested by reaching the target speed in a given time and holding this speed despite outside disturbances. Different driving scenarios are simulated for this. 8. Which of the following statements regarding mill test environments is true? A. For a mill test environment, no environmental model is necessary. B. In the mill test environment, stimulations and observations are possible anywhere via access points. C. In the mill test environment, the test object is available as compiled code and it is not readable by a human being. D. In the mill test environment, additional hardware is necessary to implement access points. 9. Which constraints does a SIL test environment have? A. Numerous internal signals of the test object can be stimulated or observed. B. The test execution can be paused anytime for further analyses. C. Electric error scenarios can be tested early. D. In the SIL environment, the simulation time is generally shorter than the real time. 10. Which statement regarding the design of a mill test environment is true? A. To execute the tests, the tester needs a computer and the correspond simulation software, including the environmental model. B. Interface and integration tests are two test types or test levels that can only be applied in a mill test environment. C. In the mill test environments, the simulation time runs in real time because the software is running on real hardware. D. The test environment includes a real-time capable computer, which can capture AL relevant signals R-time.